Oh, wow.
Welcome back to the competitive speed series.
The absolute carnage on this final lap. 5 red lights here in Miami. Can they regain that place?
I cannot believe my eyes.
Who comes out on top? Down the inside into Casio Triangle. This could end in disaster.
So Zach Miles taking the lead. It was an all or nothing approach for the TF10 team.
And this could be crucial for NBR.
A race to remember with Jeremy Gallagher.
And they are officially the champions of the season.
It does not get closer than that. What a race. What a season.
Hello and welcome everybody to Competitive Speed Series. We are here for round 5. Goodness, I'm lost. I hope round 5 anyway. And we are At the we're in Singapore for the Yas Marina circuit, and I am joined yet again by Ollie. Ollie, welcome along. I need to make sure that you're actually not muted on this one, because that would have been what a way to start like last week. But no, we're here for this one, and quite an interesting track now with the rear of the track changes.
Yeah, it's nice to be, I guess, our first proper street circuit of the calendar, if I remember correctly, looking at the calendar. Yeah, it is our first. Well, whether you count Australia as a street circuit is up for debate, but we've got our first proper street circuit tonight at Singapore for round 8 of the championship. So very much looking forward to it after last week's escapades in South America. Oh no, sorry, North America, Mexico. It was a fascinating race, and I'm sure we'll have another fascinating one this evening, Gareth.
Yeah, I can't wait for this one to kick off, especially with the track changes now after, in that third sector. It makes things a little bit more interesting and a bit more feisty with some of these drivers, which is good to see. As we're just on board with BRT Justin coming through, we'll have a look at the standings very, very shortly. Don't you worry, to see the lay of the land. And if tonight is anything like last night, then it's going to be an absolute stonker of a race from what we were hearing from Ace and from what was live last night. It was definitely an interesting one. Tony Richet then currently in first place for the TF10 on the qualifying. His teammates Mac van der Geest has thrown themselves into second as well, so a very, very good start for the Aston Martin and the TF10 team.
Yeah, getting their laps in early, Gareth, with both drivers almost within a tenth of each other at the top of the table. Ivan throwing it in for AMS in third, and then OVR Thomas in P4, with Spicer running off the top 5 at the moment. Everyone getting early laps in here at Singapore. So I didn't realise, Gareth, they had a track change at this Grand Prix. So as much I know about the world of Formula One, but yeah, just you did. I know you mentioned it a few minutes ago. I'm thinking, track changes? I don't. Oh, again, and looked at the menu map and oh yeah, that is quite different to what it previously was. So another area for the guys to overtake, obviously, which I'm sure they will optimise in this race this evening.
That was TGF Zawad. Definitely murdering that name, but they have just got themselves into 11th place. Is Alpha Kevin. The Alpha Kevin's invalidated their lap time. ETA Azim then, driver that's done well. His pace has been absolutely incredible over the last couple of weeks, and they currently are purple in Sector 2, if anything to go by. Relatively quick coming down this new straight into here. I don't think it's their full pace though, because they do seem to be just not as quick. And yeah, there we go. There we have it, into the pits for them. Let's have a look at Nico Rassenberg. I believe that's correct. Rassenberg? Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Anyway, they're on a lap time now and heading through Sector 1.
Yeah, the obviously he's replaced Alec Lofer this week. Nico has, so he'll have the tall order of meeting Alex's expectations, I'm sure, after the flurry performance he's had this season. Austria reminds me the most of Alex getting that pole position late on at Spielberg. We'll see whether Nico can match that as he rounds the tight hairpin as he goes across the bridge, and the DRS wide open coming down towards turn 14 here, where you can almost see the end of turn 8 in the background as well. And this is the new part of the circuit where we normally turn right here and go under the bridge further along, where, of course, what was his name, Gareth, racing for Renault at the time, who crashed on purpose?
It was
Piquet Jr.?
Yeah, I think so. It was
Piquet
the
Jr., yeah.
I
think so, yeah.
Yeah, Crashgate, as they call it.
That was it, yeah. So we have that no more, as we've shortened the circuit now. But that's just his bank lap, guys. So he'll go properly this round.
Yeah, they were going down that's third. What is it? Fourth DRS straight. I forgot there's 4 DRSs here. Going down there on that little kink to the left hand side. They started weaving, so I moved on board with someone else because I was desperately trying to find a lap time. And Com's always commentating out laps since New Year's Eve, since New Year's. Yeah, we're trying. We're trying. We want to give something a bit different. Nordic Ninja. We know how much you like to complain at us. Brian, then the IRT driver. It does. There's something about the in the chat saying about rain. I mean, there's not rain, but at certain angles on these straights in the background, it looks like the rain is hitting the floor, which is very odd. It could just be the graphical settings. I don't know. But through the final corner then for Brian, they're just about to start their lap time. Heading into turn 1, this is going to be hopefully for them, a very good lap for the man that is on the PlayStation.
Yeah, currently in P9 with a 25.9, so he'll be hoping to improve that. There's Nico, we finally got him on a lap this time around, Gareth, with 25.8. Puts him into P7 for the AMS team there. AMR, sorry, my mistake. So he'll be happy with that for now. But again, still the problem again it's still quite a long circuit. I appreciate they've taken a few corners, but it does take time to get round and get back into the pit. So he'll be trying to get out way of McLaren there. Not sure which one that is, but yeah, it does take a while to get round. So just shy 10 minutes left of the session. Currently, Tony Roche on pole position. Laps has not been improved yet from him. He is out on a lap time. He is up in the second sector, so we'll keep an eye on the TF10 drive.
We'll wait and see. Well, keep on board with Brian as they're squirming around turn 14 and Nordic. I am just giving a little bit of friendly banter back to you as well, so don't please don't take it the wrong way. It's nice to engage with your viewers. But here is Brian and Brian typically trying to get a lap out of someone, and you know what? No, they're not happy. It's not happening. An invalidation from Tony as well. So into the pits from Tony. Oh, everyone I'm going on board with. 7. Nico's already done a lap, haven't they? 8. Oh my goodness! Someone, please. Typical.
Both Ivan and I think Ivan's 2 tenths up coming into the middle sector, so he's just about to cross the line. Gareth, we'll see whether he jumps up. He does jump up to second with 25.477. So that's about 300ths behind our current qualified leader. However, Max not far behind him as he rocks into the pits as well after invalidating that lap. So both TF10 drivers struggling at the 8-minute mark here in qualifying at Singapore, but I'm sure they'll get round again very shortly. Gareth, I think he might be. No, he's not going to be held up by his teammate in the pits. Already put that car in the garage. But yeah, both team wise, it's only really TF10 that are in the sort of close together in the qualifying session. You've got both NRL drivers in Spicer and Ryan in 5th and 7th, but everyone else seems to be sort of individual, apart from OVR and AM aren't too far away, but again, still early in the qualifying session. Plenty of time still to go before we crown our pole man here in Singapore.
3 drivers yet to set a lap time. Azim is one of them. A previous race. I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it. Someone we've kept a lot of eyes on because of his race pace and craft, and it looked really good in the last couple of rounds. And the Alpha Kevin also has yet to set a lap time, keeps on invalidating there. And this man as well, Finn Bob, for the BRT team. And so we've got no Joe Murphy and no Silo this week. So we've all tech. So we've got BRT Justin and Finn Bob. This is going to be an interesting one. Justin, if he can get his qualifying right, his race pace is always better. But it's been a little bit of an unfortunate series for Justin, I think, at times. But here is Finn Bob. What can they do when he's rounding the final corner now, just about to start their lap time? And while they're doing that, I'm just going to cast your eyes onto the lovely signing boards that we have had done here again. I know you won't see it on your side, Ollie, but on my side, some lovely sponsorship and whatever you like to call it. It's really nice to see some great work done by Byron there. And, well, here it is then into this second DRS train, that little kick to the right-hand side. and then into turn 7. It's looking relatively good for Finn Bob at the moment.
Yeah, again, I'm sure he just wants to get round at this point, Gareth, with no lap time as of yet for Finn Bob as he just glanced the wall on the exit there as he comes into the tight, long right before he goes right across the bridge, hops a curb. Nicely done before he enters the hairpin, before he gets onto the third DRS zone at this circuit. But looks good so far. Again, nothing to compare of as of yet because it is his first lap. As we're already almost 2/3 of the way through qualifying. He's purple in the middle sector if you believe the mini map. So we'll keep an eye on the BRT driver Gareth and see whether he can get into in the upper echelons of this qualification rounds. The penultimate corner there, round the final corner he goes now, dips a wheel onto the curb, and then on the outside as he crosses the line, 4th place for Finn Bob.
That's a good standard time there. Well, I say standard, a good time to get at. They may have enough time to go around, get into the pits and do another lap. We'll have to wait and see. 4 minutes 43 seconds remaining in this one as Azim now is on a lap. Can they finally get off the no time set board? They will definitely be wanting it. And looking at the time, that's very close, that second sector, between themselves and Finn Bob. So we could see a jump up the order. Spicer throwing themselves to 4th place provisionally, just ahead of Finn Bob after Finn Bob finally getting that lap time set. But here comes Azim coming through the final corners now into 18 and 19. And, well, Tony Richet goes quicker and Azim goes into 2nd place.
That would have been enough pole within a couple of seconds ago, Gareth. But Tony Richet with a flying lap and almost 2/10 ahead of the rest of the grid there. Tony Richet playing his cards early in this qualifying session. I say relatively early with how little time is left, but we always see a flurry near the end. Does he have enough time to get around again? Maybe. That'd be really tight if he does. He's cutting wherever he can at this point in the second sector. But we'll have to wait and see. Keep an eye on Tony if he can improve. But a great lap done by Azim, guy getting up there late on. And I'm sure he's hoping his teammate, his life boot in 6th place, isn't too far away either. So I'm sure the ET8 boys are happy with it at the moment. But pole is always a little bit better if he can nail it. Is there even another lap potentially, Gareth? I can't. He is flying, but maybe wanting to get back into the pits quickly.
I would say probably wanting to get back into the pits to put on a fresh set of boots and go again. We've only got 3 minutes left here in qualifying, and yeah, time will definitely be against them if they want to be setting lap times. The Alpha Kevin now on a lap just to the kink he's gone through on 15. The DRS hasn't opened because I don't know why. Why wasn't the DRS open? Has he decided to do a second install lap maybe? He's still flying. So let's see how it will work across the line up into 9th. So maybe they didn't want to set the DRS down in Sector 3. I'm not 100% sure on that.
Well, Gareth, according to the official F1 map on my PC screen, there is a DRS sector there. But on the game, there is no
okay, that makes sense.
zone if you look at the mini map. So maybe there's only the 3 for one reason or another. I don't know why.
It's probably because we're looking at this next year's race, maybe, and I don't know. It definitely does it on the F1 Singapore, the track map online. If you go and have a look, there's a 4th DRS zone there.
We're not lying.
I'll post the picture. Yeah, so I'm pretty certain, and James saying in the chat, it's for next year. So
right.
Good old F1 website giving us false information. But yeah, it's not updating on the game just yet. Is Justin on a lap? No, Justin's invalidated. Laughabout has retired. Is that because of crash? That is because of a crash. Can we get to see? No, the car's already disappeared, unfortunately. So that's not ideal. We've got loads of cars now on track to set their final lap times. Justin's got a bit of... well, they won't be able to go into the pits and put on a fresh set of boots, so they're going to have to do an install lap here and then go again. Who else could be on a lap? Is Harvey? Harvey is. He's up by 0.2 at the moment. So let's see how Harvey can, well, continue on. Oh, no, that was probably would have been from his last So it's 0.1 up at the moment.
Yeah, comes a bit of overspeak through there, and I think that's cost him a heap of time with that drift coming through turn 8. And we'll see what as he comes into the next part of the circuit. We'll see whether he's up or down, but I think he might be sadly down on that due to that drift he made through that part of the circuit, Gareth.
Yeah, we'll wait and see to see if it will be, well, how damaging that was for their time as they cross. It's 2 seconds. That's damaging and massively damaging. Let's see who else could be setting a lap time through this. Is Justin through? Have they managed to? Let's go on board with Justin. I know there's some other great drivers out there, and Tony Richet, are they going to make it across the line in time? I'm not sure if they are. It's 3 seconds. Oh, they've just made it across the line to start their final lap. That must have been 1 second for Tony Richet. That is cutting it very, very fine. But we'll see Justin, and we won't see Justin do anything. They are not going to start any higher than 15th. OVR Thomas then, I think, putting themselves into 5th place. Here's Finn Bob, slightly up on their time as they round turn 9 now and into turns 10, 11 and 12. And I see you looking at the camera there, waiting for me to say something about what that corner used to be, but I'm not going to say the words. Into the hairpin at turn 13. And, well, Tony Richet at the moment is looking pretty at the top. Let us know. You've got a few seconds to tell us who you think is going to be pole, whether Tony Richet will stay there or whether Azim will mount a charge. But we're on board with Finn Bob as they're going through turn 15, that little kink to the left, and now into turn 16 and 17.
Yeah, final couple of corners for Finn Bob, currently down in P8. We'll see whether he can improve on that 125.6. Flies around the final 2 corners, and is an improvement. It is, but not enough to move him anywhere, Gareth. Stays in 8th place.
I think there was a slight invalidation at the end there as well, which cost him massively. Here's Azim crossing the line. Can they take pole? They have provisionally. What can Tony Richet respond with? He can't. He can't get... He's improved, but not enough to displace Azim, and Tony Richet will start 2nd, but it's all about Azim. What a lap time at the end.
Great lap time under pressure. I'm sure he could see Tony Richet in his mirrors. They weren't too far away coming around on the final laps, Gareth, and that was phenomenal by Azim late on to take pole here in Singapore.
Yeah, let's quickly go down the order. Azim, Tony, Max, Ivan, Spicer, Thomas, Lifebout, Finn Bob, Kevin, Chorizo, Luca, Ryan, Typical, Brian, Justin, Nico, Zawadi, Harvey, Medal, and then Paulos. And I'm trying to find the export, but there's no export. What? There was no export. So, Ace, apologies. There was nothing there for me to export the order. I'm not 100% sure why. Maybe it can be found in this race director. I don't know. No. Anyway, obviously at this point we are going to be moving over to the standing screen because we get to talk about the standings. Obviously after Austria, Team TF10 263. I've got the wrong standings up, have I not? I might very well have the wrong standings, guys. Apologies.
Yeah, round 7 at Mexico last week, Gareth.
Yeah. Right, bear with me 2 seconds. Yeah. I downloaded the wrong... No wonder. So bear with me. A couple more seconds and we'll get the standings up there. But Ollie, talk us through the quick changeover and talk us through. Obviously, last week at Mexico was such a fun one, but it's just increased TF10's lead at the top.
Yeah, well, the 2nd and 3rd for TF10 with Tony Richet and Brando getting a good haul of points for the team and taking quite a significant lead in the standings now by 37 points over BRT. So 310 for TF10, and then it is BRT on 273. Further back, then you got ET8. Even though they got the win last week, it wasn't enough for them to jump up in the standings. Obviously, his name goes. I can't remember. Sergioli just wasn't. Unfortunately, just made a mistake late on, which cost the ETA boys a potential double podium. But yeah, it's still quite close in standings. Obviously, the top four in TF10, BRT, ET8, and NLR all fighting away. 65 points split 1-4, and there's quite a jump then down to AMI in fifth on 118, so they're 192 points behind TF10. But we still have 5 rounds, including this evening, to crown a champion. So plenty of time for any team to get back involved with this with the championship fight. I think hopefully at this point you found the standings.
Yeah, the standings are up there. It's fine.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it should be shown now. Sorry, I'm just trying to read 2 things. Sorry, Ollie. I don't know if you could just while I respond, just take waffle on about something else for a couple of seconds for us.
No problem. I was just looking at some of the occurrences we have in Singapore, and funny enough, it has 100% safety car rating. That's not the right term. A safety 100% chance of a safety car, and a 33% chance of a virtual safety car. So one to keep an eye on. I'm sure hopefully we don't, but statistically we are likely to have one this evening. So that's something else I'm trying to contend with. We've seen plenty of occasions where it has happened, and in these classical races, walls aren't too far away, and people have made mistakes. And with the new addition of that straight, it adds another chance of overtaking. Obviously, it was a bit more difficult with the extra. Well, that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4 corners that have been removed now from the circuit. So an extra area for the overtaking. I'm sure they'll enjoy it, because that section wasn't the most fun to race run from memory, Gareth. So I'm sure it's nice to have that straight line area that they can put the foot down in.
Yeah, and from a game perspective as well, I remember that first turn in on the left before what would have been, whatever. But it could have like an invisible wall there, and you could clip it, and it would get so annoying, especially a track like this, and just get you spun around. Very similar to the one at the swimming pool section at Monaco. So that can cause a lot of issues. But we're just waiting for the lobby to set up now, guys. So do bear with us. The countdowner is going on, so it's fine. But yeah, it shan't be too much longer on this way. So who do you... Ollie, I'm obviously going to ask you, and I'm giving you plenty of time to give me an answer this week. But chat, let us know who you think is going to take victory tonight. It'd be great to have an idea from you all. But also, Ollie, so question over to you.
So obviously it was Azim and Tony Richet 1-2. Azim did win last week with TF10 second and third, but Brando's obviously not racing this evening. Got Max instead. Oh, it's a tough one, isn't it? I can't remember what I predicted last week. I think I may have predicted Brando to win. I think Tony Richet is going to get it, Gareth. I think he's not had a win since round 2. He's only finished on the podium this season, Gareth. That's currently his statistic. He's in 4 races for TF10, 2 seconds, 1/3, and 1 win. So I think it's about time for him to get a win for the team.
Yeah, we will definitely wait and see, but I'm looking forward to seeing how it will all go down. And then team-wise, obviously with Tony Richet, that means you're backing TF10. But you know what? I mean, Ivan's in there in the Ferrari team. I don't know why. I just think Azim is on a little bit of a roll at the moment. So we'll have to wait and see. I think it's strategy wise, probably looking hard mediums or medium hards. There's kind of the meta for this game, isn't it? It's very usual that sort of setup.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a bit predictable, isn't it, with how these races go. Unfortunately, with the games being set up, but yeah, just looking, yeah, that's hard. But it looks mixed actually throughout the grid. It's not consistent. So even the front two have gone on split strategy. So we'll wait and see how that pans out. And the tier 10 boys splitting it medium and hard. So with Tony Roche on the mediums and Max on the hard compound tire. So we'll see how that all pans out as we progress through this race, Gareth.
Yeah, just one last look at the standings and more on the bottom end, FGE and FRT. Towards the bottom end there, 20 and 29. They'll be hoping for some big points tonight. Don't forget, the points do go down to 15th. So it really does give a little bit of an interesting dynamic of how these point system works and makes all the more reason to stick it out, really. So we'll
Absolutely.
hope they will do tonight. And obviously with it being a street track, it can cause a little bit of issues. With loss of front wings and safety cars, I know we've already brushed over that already, but also, you know, penalties. It seems odd to say that a street track you're likely to get penalties, but Singapore, there's a few corners that can catch you out, and you know you can get penalties at this circuit.
Yeah, turn 1, 2, and 3 in a tour is for the front corner as well. Just trying to optimize your line, aren't you? And you just, you know, half a meter is enough for you to get a warning. So the guys have to be careful later on. We saw quite a few Mexico, didn't we, in that middle sector, and how much it, especially some of the top drivers, how quickly they fell down because how close everyone was with all the safety cars we had last week. So definitely want to consider at Singapore, and they've got to be careful. They really do, and how much it can affect you later on in the race. You know, it can actually change the race quite significantly. So yeah, I'm sure these guys are seasoned pro guys, so hopefully we don't see many, but I'm sure they'll crop up from time to time. But yeah, just taking the time to get ready, and here we go. Here come the lights.
As you say that, it's always the way, isn't it? 5 red lights here at Singapore for competitive speed series, and away we go. It looks like a pretty decent start there from Azim, as per usual. He seems to do it so well as they come into turn 1, and it looks like it's continuing to be as the positional order that we saw early on. There is 2 drivers deciding that medium is the way to go, which is very odd. And the back end of Azim stepping out, and there's a Ferrari into the wall. That is Ivan, and that's early, and I think that's a Mercedes, and Ivan's out of this session, and there is a safety car. We've barely even got half a lap in.
We got 5 corners, Gareth, with that. I didn't see, I assume it was with Spicer due to the damage on the front wing. I was aboard with the top 10, well, near the top 10, the flurry, and seen a strong car across the circuit, and unfortunately the well, early doors, AMR are down to 1 car in the running, and that is where is he? Nico in 12th, but NLR won't be happy either. Obviously, Spicer all the way down to 19th now. Will need a front wing change. We get it done now, and he'll be able to catch at the back of the grid, but he's going to have to do a lot of overtaking if he wants to catch up with a teammate up in 8th in Ryan Gao. So, yeah, bit of a hectic start as we'd expect at Singapore, I think.
I don't think at this moment, I don't think softs will make it until... softs, what am I talking about? I don't think if you swap to hards now, it would make it till the end. However, what I do think is... we don't know if there's any... We haven't heard of any rain. But it's going to be interesting. Ryan has decided not to pit, neither has Chorizo. They decided to stay out, which is quite an odd one. I thought they would have pitted and decided to, hang it out on the hards. Interesting strategy at the moment from Ryan and Chorizo.
We've got Typical in the pits. He's switched on to a set of mediums, it looks like. So hoping he was not, I think, was he 12th, 13th before the safety car? So he'll be, I was expecting those mediums to do well in the early part of the circuit. Early part of the race. And I guess he's got nothing to lose. Obviously, he's got a teammate ahead of him. I'm sure he'll let him through because of the difference in tyres. But we'll have to wait and see how Typical and Spicer are able to negotiate the good. But it's not like, Gareth, they've done lots of laps here. Those hard tyres will still be great for a while because of you've done one lap. So it's not going to be easy for those guys at the back.
No, it won't be at all. And I think at this point, Typical and Spicer will probably be able to do a medium run, unless they decide to go back into the pits for the hards, which is a possibility as well. Two different strategies on offer for them. Spicer was always having to pit to change that front wing, so it's going to be an interesting strategy call from that side of the grid and garage. And safety car immediately here in Singapore, and it's going to be an interesting way to see how they all pan out. There's no changes really at the front with the front three. They're all going exactly as they were.
Yeah, the real winners on the opening lap were Harvey, Nico, Brian and Ryan, all at 4 places. Everyone's almost gained, other than Luca. Azim, Tony, Max, and Luca were the only 4 drivers who've stayed in the same place, really. So, it's a lot of overtaking in the early part of this race that unfortunately we didn't really get to see because we were obviously concentrating on the front group down. So, Ryan and Typical and Spicer have stayed out on this medium, so they'll be, I think, like I said, doing a double medium stop later on in the race. But hopefully we get running once again. The guys are caught to the back of the queue, so hopefully by the end of this, we'll get racing again, and we'll see what the real Singapore is like, other than the first 5 corners.
Yeah, well, hopefully time. Well, all the cars are back up, so we should be seeing the safety car in on this lap, on lap 3 or the end of lap 3, and from lap 4 we'll get racing again. But yeah, it's a shame to have a safety car so early, but at the moment we'll have to wait and see how it pans out, whether Azim, Tony and Max fight it out or whether they just stick with it for the time being. It is really interesting strategy from Typical and Spicer for not going back onto a set of hards. I thought that would be their go-to, but they want to race, and they want to race hard, so it's good to see.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And they will have to do it in the early echelons of this race while this medium is still fresh. We'll see whether they can do it. Keep an eye on both 18th and 19th. Safety car will be in at the end of this lap. Still looking at the current grid. Azim on pole, but Lifeboat in 5th. If you can get past Thomas, you can then target Max, and that might alleviate some pressure on Azim then. But obviously Thomas is no slouch, so he's got his work at hand. I'm sure Thomas wants to progress forward, and if he can disrupt the top 3 as well, he'll enjoy that as well. And Tritz was not too far behind as well in 9th place, but it's Azim to do the restart here, Gareth, on the end of lap 3.
Let's see what Tony Richet can do off the restart, whether he can catch Azim napping. But as they're just heading into turn number 19 now, and away we go. Azim goes pretty early, which we kind of expected for a safety car restart. But it looks like maybe Thomas, it could get very close to the back end. And there was Justin getting close as well. It's all very, very interesting right now. So let's see how it all panned out. It's very calm restart from the safety car.
Yeah, no overtaking at all there on the main straight as expected. No duress just yet on the restart. Heavy braking coming into turn, that would be turn 7 there as they come around the hairpin of 8. And again, no. Oh, I say that though. Ryan and Finbob fighting away, and Ryan doing his best to stay ahead of Finbob. Finbob pushing. You can see him on the picture looking down the inside as there's a big lockup by someone further up. Is anyone brave enough to make a dive into 13? We have seen it in the past, but it doesn't look like anyone in the top 8 at least making any dives just yet.
That was Ryan doing well there. Getting in front of Finbob and then defending very well indeed as they now head on into 14. And there's a quite close between the front two, Tony and Azim, but we'll stick on board with the medium driver for the time being because they are of Ryan, because they are looking very, very quick and intense to try and make these moves quick and get it done, because they need to use the best of these tyres, as Tony Richet is the fastest car on the track at the moment.
Yeah, flying at the moment, obviously in the slipstream with the driver ahead. We'll see whether you can get past this time around as they come through 1, 2, 3, and 4. Round 5, they go trying to keep as much speed as you can on exit, trying to be almost millimeters away from the wall here. DRS is enabled, and the overspeed from Tony Richet flies around the outside of the inside for the next corner, and that is Tony Richet taking the lead of this Grand Prix. Azim faster on exit though, but no close enough to make a move through it, with a new race leader in Tony Richet.
Yeah, I wonder how much these guys are going to squabble away in the lead. Here comes Azim again, just showing his nose up the inside of Tony, but it's not really an overtaking opportunity there into turn 10, because you can get caught out quite a lot from going in too deep into that corner. But Azim just keeping it at the moment. It's going well for the ET8 driver and the TF10 driver both. They are just they should just wait and bide their time, I think. There's a long way to go in this race. We're only lap 5 of 31. Ryan has not made any further moves from 7th place. He is someone that needs to start getting those moves done because they are on the medium compounder tyre.
Yeah, especially with Spider down in 19th, not being able to get past anybody at the moment. And obviously, from a team point of view, that's not ideal at all. Justin with a penalty early on, that's not ideal for the BRT team. And obviously, still struggling down in 12th. I mean, obviously, 3 places from off when he started, but from a standing point of view, not ideal at all for BRT. Finbob in 8th, but they need to get a move on. As here we go, Azim. Can he get Tony Richet here? He's closing. He's not going to make a move up the inside, it looks like. And he'll stay in 2nd for now.
Yeah, this is where the battle's going to be, I think, right now, is just the leaders possibly swapping over, but nothing more than that. It's very... what's the word to describe it? It's very processional right now, which is not the best way to describe it, but it's a little bit oh my goodness, chess-like. It's strategic.
Yeah, I think so. And I think Azim is hoping that Life About can, catch him a little bit and get past Thomas, which obviously will help him then, because then Max will get distracted. And Max, not struggling as such, but he's a little bit further away and can't really help Tony out at all, because at the moment Azim doesn't have to think about Max behind because of the gap. There's almost half a second between 2nd and 3rd, so he can just concentrate on Tony ahead of him. So I'm sure Tony could do with a bit of a rear gunner, as I say that. Max obviously listened to the comms and gets a new fast lap of the race, the 29, I think it was 1 or 9, 1 or 2, but Spicer, 10-second penalty, was speeding in the pit lane. Oh dear, for the NLR driver. Not helpful at all on lap 7.
That's a front wing change as well for the NLR driver, which is going to cost them massively. Here comes Azim then. Will he look up the inside? No, he thinks better of it in the end. And the medium runners that started the race on mediums, I should say, Ryan and Chorizo, still not making many moves really at this point in the race. They've been on the mediums now 6 laps into their 7th lap. Those tyres will eventually start dropping away, and they don't have the luxury that Typical has, which is going on to another set of mediums. They have to go onto a set of hards.
Typical's obviously done well on the restart, up into 15th now. Still 2 places down from where he started, but obviously his current position, guys, he'll get a point, and that's what is crucial in this league. Points down to 1st, down to 15th. And it's good that Spicer hasn't given up the ghost yet. He's come back out. Appreciate he's still got penalties, but safety cars I'm sure we may have another one later on, so he can get back involved with this race potentially later on. But Tony getting out a gap now, guys, over second. But I think he's made a mistake at one point. Now it's 6/10, splitting 1st and 2nd. And Tony Roche, fastest lap of the race, 29.4.
29 and all the fours. That's a good lap time at this stage of the race for Tony. Starting to try and turn the screw a little bit on his competitors all the way down. Azim has responded, but I don't know if his teammate Max is going to be able to. So they head on down the first DRS straight, I suppose, other than the start-finish straight. We're going to just call it the first DRS straight. So they head on into turn 7, and no answer for Azim at the moment since losing the lead of the race. He's had to stay behind Tony for the time being, and I don't know if he's happy there, but he's not making too much of a squabble of it. He's just happy, I think, right now, just sitting there and waiting.
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, Tony just breaking the air for Azim to close down when he needs to. I think Azim's a bit quicker in a straight line, it seems, than Tony Roche. As Harvey gets a penalty down in 14th. Not ideal for him as they come through turn 13 for the 8th time. But yeah, not much movement last couple of laps. I think, like I said, it's a bit of a game of chess here. And Lifeboat's got a bit of a queue that's falling behind him now. He's a second behind Thomas, which is going to cost him as they come through the DRS. He close that gap. No, he hasn't. So he'll get no drift on the main straight. And that might be the difference between the top 4 breaking away and the rest of the grid.
This is going to be interesting. I think Lifeboat has made him... Well, Lifeboat... I don't want to say he's made a mistake to lose that second. It is a mistake to do that. I wonder if Azim is going to just slow Max up just a slightly bit. There is like an increase or decrease in time. It is now 0.9 of a second. So Lifeboat is going to get that DRS down the main, or this second straight here. And that is good news for the ET8 and... well, more importantly, Lifeboat, but it's now back to a second again. Lifeboat's in a little bit of trouble here and could have, the queue of cars all the way down to 11th place because Justin's on the verge as well, down in 12th place.
Yeah, but they are struggling to make any moves here at the moment on fresh tyres. Everyone seems very processional and not getting close enough to make any moves. So it's a bit quiet at the moment. Big lockups for a couple of drivers coming into turn 13 once again there. Lifeboat and Thomas both locking up. But again, Azim just biding his time. Gareth just doesn't feel the need to make any moves yet. It's still early doors, lap 9 of 31. So it feels that he can relax a little bit, knowing that Tony is giving him slipstream, obviously the DRS as well. They're both just glimpse the wall there as they come round the final corners to start lap number 10.
Here we go then. We're about a third of the way through this Grand Prix here in Competitive Speed Series. And Grid Finder is lovely displayed over the start-finish straight there as a lovely graphics had done on the stream for tonight. ET8 Azim then trying to get close to Tony Roche again as they head on through turn 6. Is it going to be the time this... No, it's not. It's still just happy to stay behind.
Yeah, either that or this isn't close enough on the exit of 5 to really get a move on. I don't know whether it's tactical at the moment or he's simply not close enough to make a move on our race leader. It's difficult to know. It really is, but I guess it isn't really be much overtaken at all. So maybe it is a case it's too difficult to overtake at the circuit at the moment.
See, as they come through turn 13, pit stops probably won't be for a little while for these hard runners yet. So we'll... Yeah, I think once the pit stops happen, there'll be a flurry of overtaking, a bit of settling down, and then we'll start seeing some true pace to come through. Tony has yet to try... he tried to break away a couple of laps ago. He's yet to push it again. As Azim, I think maybe just matching him at the moment. or Tony is trying to just hold Azim up into Max and play a bit of team game to just get things sorted. We'll have to see how that one pans out, as Thomas is doing a really good job in P4. Again, pulling slightly away from Lifebout in P5.
Yeah, he is. Lifeboat just about holding on, isn't he? And because of the DRS, Alpha Kevin can't get close enough to make a move here. No one really be able to make a move. So say that though, Brian and Chorizo are making moves. There's also side by side action between Nico and Chorizo. Chorizo trying it around the outside through turn 8. He just about holds it. He's hit the wall though, and that's him out. That's him out to the Grand Prix in the second safety car of this Grand Prix, and there are no more AMR drivers in this race, both out within 11 laps of each other. It might be the stewards for Chorizo there with him. I was on board with him. I couldn't see what exactly was happening there, Gareth, but unfortunately there's another driver out of the Grand Prix.
So, well, yeah, that's gutting for the AMR team. Let's have a look at Lifebout and his time to his teammate. Are we going to see some pits here? I am not sure. Maybe. Well, Ryan, yes. And believe it or not, there's a poll in the chat just came up as the safety car came through. That is real crazy from competitive speed series. But everyone is going to jump. Everyone is going to jump, which is an interesting strategy right now.
Max is going to get held up here, Gareth, I think.
Yeah, Max, I think Lifebout might get away with it. Let's have a look at it. Is there going to be a hold up for the Alpine team? There isn't. It's seamless at Alpine.
Yeah, I think Ideal and we're just trying. Well, everyone has pitted on the grid, so Max has lost place to Thomas. He's only lost one place in all that. But Lifebout, it was an ever so slight, Gareth, pause. You're talking half a second, but that's enough to allow Alpha Kevin through, and he's up to 5th now. So, unfortunately for Azim, his team has dropped down a place, as has Tony Richet's teammate, and Thomas takes P3. So, 3 different teams in the top 3 now, which is lovely to see. But OVR Thomas, just looking at the standings again, OVR haven't had the best run. Their best finish was in the first round. They got, let's do some quick maths, 22 points in the very first round in Australia. So with both the drivers doing well so far, I'm sure they might be able to get a good haul of points for the team. But we'll have to wait and see. Still early doors. Again, like I said, we've only done a third of the race so far. So still a long way to go in this race. And this could be a bit of a reoccurring theme potentially with another safety car later on.
It could very well be. And, looking at it, if we don't get another safety car, Ryan and Chorizo, those hard tyres will get better the longer this race goes on. Spicer has got a set of softs on, and I'm guessing that's to get rid of the 10-second time penalty he had because of the speeding in the pit lane on his second pit stop, I think. But we'll likely see them come back out on a set of hards afterwards, or maybe a set of mediums. I'm not 100% sure. These mediums, the longer the race will go on, the weaker they will get. So NLR Ryan and OVR Chorizo just need to keep a hold of their tyre, keep a hold of the medium runners for as long as possible, and then they've got a real good chance of doing something special here tonight.
Yeah, but that is harder said than done, isn't it? With how we've seen this league play out this season, safety car already. So, yeah, we'll see. We see how it all goes. Spies are flying around the circuit as you'd expect, but obviously, like the guy pulling into the pits after that, serving the penalty. So he'll come in, and I'm sure he will put us on a set of. Well, I don't know what he's going to do. Actually, we'll see what he does. Are they yellow or white water tyres? It looks white to me, and his set of hard, but used hard scouts. He's done 6 laps on those already.
Yeah, I think they are the ones he possibly started the Grand Prix on, then had to pit because of the front wing damage, and then came back out on after another pit stop, which he got the 10-second penalty on. But now it should all be clear.
Well, he has done 4 stops, hasn't he? So I'm not surprised with that.
Let's hope Spicer can... Ooh, back end stepping out massively. Can keep it clean this time. Well, no more pit stops for Spicer. Let's hope. Let's give the NLR driver a little bit of love. But towards the top, the safety car should probably won't come in this lap. It'll probably be next lap now. And you know what? Let us know in the chat if you think any of the other... well, if your opinion on who's going to win this race has changed, or if you're keeping, you're sticking with your original vote for it. Ollie, who do you think is it going to be? Tony Richet still?
Well, he's leading the race at the moment. He's not really been challenged since he made the lead of the race, so I feel a feeling he may keep it. But they're on quicker tyres now, so it might get a little more aggressive, more mistakes potentially, and I'm sure we'll see another safety car in this race after 2 already, or maybe a VSC. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, sticking with the TF10 drivers at the moment, both doing well. But yeah, anything can happen. We've seen plenty of action this season, so I'm sure this isn't the end of the race just yet.
See how it will all pan out. We do have the incident from Chorizo and Nico, and that has been posted in the chat, so it's going to be interesting. I won't look at it because it will pause the game for me. But yeah, safety car should be in this lap. There's no reason for it not to come in this lap. Spies has caught back up. No one else has gone into the pits. The only reason why it wouldn't go in is, I think, if we have a crash under the safety car. We've seen weirder things.
Yeah, no, we have. Sorry, I was looking at the incident, Gareth, and a bit of a strange incident. How his wheel falls up there, I'm really not sure. I think that's for debate. I think, but sure, that'll have a bit of a do it later on. But yeah, I mean, I'm just wanting to guys come in now. I want to see some racing, Gareth. It's too much time behind this. It's Mercedes. Too much time.
Yeah, Bert Mylander needs to go into the pits. That's about as... we don't want to keep on following an AMG. Yeah, there we go. That's the sign we wanted to see. The safety car is in this lap, and Tony Richet will start us off. Last time it was Azim that was starting us off under the safety car. This time it will be the man that started second place for this race. That's Tony Richet. He is now leading this Grand Prix after overtaking Azim. A lap 6, I believe, if memory serves me correctly. So Tony has a little bit of pressure on him to make sure he does this restart absolutely perfect. Yeah,
he's got to. Obviously, Azim did well on his start. We'll see whether Tony can match that. Oh, and Azim tried to get him, and he almost got it right there. Be side by side coming into the first corner, but not close enough. In the background, there's a little bit of movement. I think it was Brian. No, I take that back. It's Chorizo and Lucas are side by side in the background through 4. Looks like that's Luca through, and it could well be who's that in the red bus? Typical through as well. They're side by side. It's all happening just outside the top 10.
Chorizo has dropped like a stone. He's down to 13th place now. I think he started this in 10th, and just ahead of him, Justin, fighting away with Typical. These two drivers still going at it, and I think Chorizo is trying to get back at Typical, but it's just not happening for the OVR driver. Poor OVR, poor Chorizo is now down to 13th place. So fresh mediums for everyone other than Ryan and Chorizo, who went to the hards because that were the tyres they needed to go on, and it hasn't worked out for them very well at all, unfortunately. Well, at the moment Ryan's holding on, but Chorizo has dropped, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think it's just ice cold on the restart, Gareth, and he struggled significantly on that restart. Unfortunately, it's not it's not ending anytime soon because you got SRL Medell not too far away either. So he's got to be careful and try and get the tyres up to temp as quickly as he can. Tony Roche fast lap of the race as to be expected on those fresh mediums, and we'll see whether Azim can challenge him now on some fresh rubber as they come through the first couple of corners. Round 3 towards 4 and 5 here. But again, I don't think he's close enough. Spicer gets a penalty to add to his woes this evening, Gareth. I'm sure it'll be a race to forget for him. But Azim DRS is wide open. But again, I don't think he's going to be close enough coming into turn 7. No, he's not. Just in behind the Aston Martin for now.
Yeah, I think Tony's using his ERS wisely in this one, and Max needs to make sure he doesn't lose too much time with these guys. Obviously, dropping the place to Thomas after the pit stop and being held slightly by his teammate Tony with the safety car pit stop, and obviously you have to double stack. I think that was a little bit of a mistake from Azim at turn 11, but he's managed to hold on. And right now, this man, NLR Ryan, is doing a really good job of just clinging to the back end of Finn Bob. And those tyres will become good at the end of this Grand Prix. So if he can keep on just clinging to the back end of Finn Bob for now, he's got a good chance of maybe a podium.
Yeah, potentially. Ryan's really pushing at the moment. Brian not too far away, but big lock up by, I think that was Finn Bob in 7th there coming into last couple of corners. But yeah, he's pushing all he can as Thomas fast lap of the race in P3, holding steady here. Just look at the top 3 once again. Azim closer this time around, but is he close enough? Coming through 5, that's the key part. It seems that Tony is great on exit out of 5, and he's doing enough to stay ahead of the ET8 driver. Again, 3.5 tenths splitting them. Is it enough for him to make the move? He's thinking about it. Nope, stays behind him once again, and he's almost glued to the back of the Aston Martin as they come into the braking zone. But again, not close enough to make the move. It's got to be, maybe I assume below 3 tenths for him to get a chance, Gareth, to make a move into turn 7.
Yeah, they're really close. All the 3 of them now are within, paper touching distance of each other. It feels like Azim's definitely got a little bit more impetus about him now. He's decided to pick it up for some reason, hasn't he?
Yeah, that's what it feels like. He's really pushing. I think when I say that, he's not really using his ERS. He's still got 94%. Well, no, I say so. Tony's got 85, 86% as well. So they're both got plenty of action. There's plenty of energy. And I thought it was going to be a move there into, turn 16. Not seen a move through there yet. But what can Azim do? Flies around the final 2 corners here, 18 and 19 to start lap 18 of the Grand Prix. Really close. Is within, he's almost within a tenth of Tony coming into turn 1. And both make a bit of a mistake on the exit there. Is this the chance? He's closer than he's ever been before. Round turn 5 they go. Can he get a good exit? It's a little bit better. Could this be the opportunity here? Keep an eye on Azim as it closes towards the back of the Aston Martin. But again, not close enough to make the move, Gareth. He'll stay in second once again.
That's such a shame for Azim, but great if you're Tony Roche, still leading this Grand Prix, holding off the ET8 driver behind, which is exactly what he needs to do. We're lap 18 of 31. We've had 2 safety cars. Both of the AMR drivers are out of the Grand Prix and caused those safety cars, or their incidents caused the safety cars, I should say. And, hard for both of them. Yeah. But at the moment, and there is an overtake behind. That is Kevin getting past Max van der Geest.
Yeah, I didn't see that. I moved to 13. I thought we might get one this race, and it looks like Alpha Kevin dives it up the inside through 13, and that's him up into P4 now. We've seen more and more of Alpha Kevin the last couple of races, really showing his colours and improving and doing well here. The man in P4 at the moment, but we'll keep an eye and see whether he can challenge Thomas in P3. But back to the front 2, Azim. He's anything different this run. He just needs to get a great exit for 5, and he'll get a great chance, guys. But he's just not getting that at the moment.
See what turn 5 is. It is very, very close this time of asking from Azim, and this is better. Is it going to head over 0.3 of a second? It isn't. I don't think he's going to try and make the move, though. He's going to stick behind, maybe save the ERS even further. But they are I think now they are desperately trying to push away from OVR Thomas, especially Tony. Now that Max van der Geest has dropped down to 5th place, Tony doesn't have that rear gunner, his teammate, to help him out. The TF10 drivers started this race 2nd and 3rd, and they are now 1st and 5th. It's not ideal for TF10, but one of their drivers is still leading this Grand Prix. Into turn 13, we're looking at Azim's point of view. He doesn't try anything special into turn 13, but he's just trying. There's just no way he can get through at the moment. Let's go down and have a look at Lifebout, because again, another driver all over the back of Max van der Geest. Is there a problem with that TF10 car? Because they are struggling.
Yeah, it really. I'm still within a second. You can see all the cars trying to weave left and right, trying to figure out where they need to brake because they're so close together behind Max here. He's managed to get a slight gap over Life here in P5 coming to lap number 20, but yeah, struggling a little bit at the moment on those medium tyres and whether he's working too hard in the first part of the since the safety car, but yeah, struggling a little bit now, but he's caught slightly back to Alpha Kevin, but Alpha Kevin's still racing away ahead, trying to close on Thomas here.
Let's see if anything. Azim has a little nosedive, like not a nosedive, but a little showing of his nose up the inside, but then pulls up back behind Tony Richet as they go into turn 7 there, and it's all nice and steady at the moment, but Azim really is looking a bit more racy now as they come through turns 10 and 11. This is going to be, well, when does Azim think enough is enough? I want to retake the lead. I want to do this.
Well, he's got enough ERS cards. He's got 100% worth of energy left to use. So, and now Tony's got plenty as well. So both drivers saving it at the moment. They're choosing to be conservative in how they use their extra power here. So they're, I think they could push harder. Maybe they're just waiting to later on in the race. Just a note as well. Luca got past Justin in the background as well. Paulos with a 2-second time penalty as well. So the penalties are starting to come thick and fast for some of the drivers. As Paulos 70 not a happy bunny there, and Spies is still not being able to keep up with the pack here after early mistakes, unfortunately. But again, Tony leads us through lap 21, and this time Azim nowhere near. Caution in sector 1. Someone's made a mistake, but they're back on circuit. It seems to see who that was. This Harvey gets a penalty as well. They're starting to come. Like I said, starting to come thick and fast, Gareth. And it's going to cost some of these drivers, especially if one of the top runners gets one.
Yeah, and you're looking at Justin, penalty for the man in 11th place. At the moment, he's fine in the points, but eventually, if the drivers behind catch him up, then they're going to be out of the points, and BRT need as many points as possible right now. Typical just lost, I think. No, sorry, not typical. It's Chorizo just lost a place to medal, and that's OVR Chorizo started. The strategy hasn't gone as well as it has the other driver who started on the mediums, which is Ryan, who is all over the back of Finbob. He's now on the hards, and they are doing a very, very good job of it.
Yeah, he's kept his own in this part of the race. There we go. Finbob really struggling there. And this could allow Ryan through, and I don't think it's yet, but maybe Finbob. He's been the one that's locking up. Whether it's a graphical error, but he seems to be locking up quite significantly in this race. And Ryan is waiting to pounce, waiting for an opportunity, and he'll strike where he can to try and take 7th off Finbob here, which is back on board with the front 2. And I think as he's starting to use some of that power now, guys, it's down to 85% ERS, but again, not close enough to make a move. But back in, Ryan, as you mentioned, Gareth, past Finbob and up into 7th.
It's a good move from Ryan, and it was either going to be the leaders or Ryan and Finbob that made a little bit of an overtake, and Ryan gave us that overtake as they went into turn 7. Ryan's hard compound of tyres still, well, probably not as good as the mediums out there, but Ryan, the race is definitely going to come towards him. Whether the mediums will drop off enough is the question, and we'll find out at the end of the Grand Prix whether it is. But Azim, again, looking very racy. And you don't know if this is Tony just trying to hold Azim up a little bit and get Thomas to maybe look at a couple of moves, but to his current race rival. But Tony, he does look kind of comfortable in the lead of this race.
Yeah, I don't think he's had to. Well, he's not had to defend really. Azim's not been close enough to make a move, so he's just been relaxed, hasn't he? In this race, and been able to control the race quite well. As we're obviously over the midpoint of this Grand Prix now, both a bit of a wiggle out of 5, but not enough to cause any too much upset on the cars. But again, Azim is showing us the, what's the word, Gareth? He's showing us the opportunity to go, but chooses not to make the move on our race leader, and everyone stays in the same place for now. But yeah, it's just waiting, guys. It's almost this race is boiling up and waiting for something exciting to happen, I guess, and for it to all go a bit wild. But we've not had that moment yet. As Tritzo there gets a penalty down in P14.
Oh dear. Has there been some audio errors again? Ollie?
I couldn't hear you, Gareth, at all.
Oh, okay, wonderful. Take it away, because I'm going to try and figure out what's going on with the mic, whether it's a loose connection or something.
No problem. Yeah, just staying aboard with Ryan in all that and trying to progress well. Still getting really close in this midfield as a mistake by Max. Then could this allow Ryan through? Still got a DRS, so Max, so he should be able to hold the place for now. Don't see many moves into turn 14. I don't think we've seen one yet in this race, but could this be a move to Ryan into turn 16? Finally, we see a move into here, but no, not enough ahead of the Aston Martin there to make a move, and they'll stay in P6 for now. But Ryan looking really racy now. Those tyres starting to come his way, and this could be. Keep an eye on him now. Again, drivers know what they're doing on these tyres, especially the front runners, but Ryan trying to push his way through the grid now and is waiting for the tyres to fall off a cliff and allow Ryan through in this race here as they come through turn 5. And again Max struggling as contact with the back of the Aston Martin, but Ryan flies around the inside for the next, we'll have the outside for the next part of the corner, but Max is giving him the place, and that is Ryan up into P5 now. Gareth, are you back working?
I'm hopeful. It does look like there's a little bit of a loose connection. As Finbob and Brian, I'm hoping you can hear me anyway. Finbob and Brian having a little bit of contact there at turn 8. Yeah, it does look like there's a little bit of a wire problem on my end, so it might cut out. I'm not sure. Let's hope it doesn't. But it's good to see that Ryan is causing waves.
Yeah, he's really pushing. I think you mentioned his hard tyres would come into play later on in the Grand Prix, and they really are now. We've got, was it 6.5 laps remaining of this Grand Prix, He's got 4 drivers and they're very close together, just waiting for a mistake. And I'm sure he'll be pushing as much as he can to try and do an NLR glory in this. We saw how well they did at it was Imola a few weeks ago, and he's trying to emulate that, but unfortunately his teammate down in 18th not able to help him here. Max dropping back behind him as well, but still within half a second of the Mercedes driver. And will we finally see some moves from Azim here? He's not been able to get back and take the lead here for this Grand Prix, and a big slap over there, guys, not helping his chances.
It isn't at all. And, well, Alpha Kevin is next on Ryan's hit list as he tries to come through the grid, and defending already from Ryan as the exit of turn 7. He knows his time is going to be limited, and Ryan surely going up the inside. That is going to be very, very brave if he's managing to do this. I don't think the grip levels are there at the exit of turn 9, but Alpha Kevin is definitely worried about it.
Got to be careful they don't drop out the DRS so then, guys, with all this dueling away. No movement to 13. They'll have the DRS for the next bit, as Alpha Kevin just about does as well. But look at the overspeed by Ryan. Flies up the inside. Finally a move into 14 we see. But Ryan's going to close. It's a couple tenths, but can he close that enough? Here, can he be within a second as they cross the detection zone for the DRS? He should be able to. Yes, he does. Within 8 tenths now, Ryan is absolutely flying, Gareth.
This is going to be an interesting one and a tough one for Ryan now. He's got 3 cars in front of him. 5 laps remaining, I think, and it's going to be very, very tight to see if Ryan can get this through. The medium compounder tyres are going to start struggling even more the later into the race they go. Tony started to put maybe a little bit of the screw down again on Azim to try and ensure they take the victory of this Grand Prix. But right now, Ryan is looking very, very racy. He's coming back up to Thomas. He's had a great recovery from a poor qualifying from Ryan, which is not something we say often, Ryan having a poor qualifying. Down below, Finn Bob and Brian having a little bit of a ding-dong. It's amazing to see that Finn Bob has dropped nearly, 3.5 seconds from the top 7 when he was involved in that battle for the lead.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was obviously he pushed those tyres too hard, and he's struggling in 8th place, and you can see that by the time difference. But I think Brian and Luca are also struggling. They can't seem to get by Finn Bob here at all, so they're all in the same boat. Unfortunately, there it's back and forth with the top 4, and Ryan looking closer again to Thomas within 2 tenths of 3rd place, and I think the top 3 are starting to worry now, Gareth, with the pace that Ryan has, with 3 racing laps remaining here in this race.
Well, look at that. Ryan is so much closer to Thomas than Thomas is to Azim ahead of them, and this is going to be an interesting one as they head out of turn 5 for the 28th time, whether Ryan is going to have that overspeed. Like he's pushing the Red Bull or the RB car pretty much through that first sector. Chorizo picking up a 3-second penalty. Such a shame for Chorizo. Could have had a really good race here tonight. It's just not worked out. And there goes Ryan into 3rd place, into the podium sitters. And my goodness me, all of a sudden, we've always had, since Max fell out of the top 3 different teams. But the first time tonight, we've got an NLR driver in that top 3. And it's going to be very tasty for the final few laps.
Yeah, I'm sure Azim and Tony won't want to give up those places either, and Ryan will want to be sort of done it and dusted by obviously try and get it done before the final lap, so you can have a relaxing final lap, not having to push to the very last moment. 4 tenths split himself. Azim looked up the inside of Tony. I think you can see the prancing Ryan behind him and wants to get ahead of Tony, so you maybe get a little bit of a gap. If Ryan's dealing with Tony Richet here, round the final 4 corners to go, and there's a big tank with big slap of oversteer by Azim, and Ryan almost going to the back of the ET8 driver. And we've got 3 racing laps remaining now. Sorry, apologies on the last one. 3 racing laps here left of this Grand Prix. Is Ryan's race to lose here, Gareth?
It definitely feels that way, isn't it? And, the Beverly Hills Cop, the heat is on, is definitely feeling it now for Azim and Tony, because Ryan is flying through these last few laps. And will we see an overtake into 7 from Ryan on Azim? I don't think so, not on this occasion. But Ryan is virtually pushing these guys around every corner. He's got so much more grip.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think it's obviously Ryan is flying at the moment, but Thomas's tyres are still okay. Oh, we say that as he hits the wall, and that could allow Alpha Kevin flies on through at the exit of turn 8 there. That small mistake by Thomas has really cost him. I was going to say that Alpha Kevin and Thomas could just maybe mistake from the top 2 as there's damage to someone there. Saw some front wing flying off, Gary.
I don't know, but there was a little bit of contact between Ryan and Azim. Ryan tried going around the outside. I don't know if there's damage to Ryan's car. If it doesn't look like it. He's just so much quicker through the corners. He's doing a really good job, but he needs to make the moves now, or otherwise it's going to be too late. Here he can't. There's nothing into this corner either. I think it was just a little bit of the carbon fibre glitch where something you do see come flying off. Paulos picking up a penalty, which is not going to be ideal at all. Chorizo have got themselves back into 12th place ahead of Justin through all this. But we are watching on the penultimate lap now of this Grand Prix, a competitive speed series, as Ryan, the back end, massively incorrect there, and that could have cost him.
He hit the back of Azim there, Gareth, on the exit of 3. He's just so much quicker, and that's cost him a couple of tenths there, and an overtaking opportunity has gone amiss because of it. He doesn't want to do this on the last. If he wants to get it done before then, he's going to have to be a bit crafty here, because can he get both of them on the same lap? That's going to be a bold and brave decision if he wants to, but pushing everywhere he can. Kevin is nowhere near. It's a fight for the top 3 now, with Ryan, Azim and Tony battling for the win.
Yeah, let's look at it from Ryan's point of view right now, and it's got to. Is he going to try anything into 13? He doesn't. He takes such a wider line, and the back end of Azim was he was virtually sideways coming through turn 13 there, and that's going to, cost Ryan so much more time and probably allow Tony Richet to come away with victory here.
Yeah, now a 7-10 splitting first and second. Azim trying everything to defend here. Ryan trying to go around the outside of that Alpine, but just can't make that move. It's almost 8-10 splitting first and second now. Azim holding up Ryan. Could this be enough for Azim? Another mistake coming out in the final corner. Could Ryan get by going into turn 1? He's going to try, goes back, switch back to the outside. Still can't get by the Alpine. Trying everything in the book, Gareth, but just can't get by.
And this, I think, has given Tony the race victory, because Ryan can't find a way past Azim. 88 Azim has defended absolutely stalwartly right now. He's surely going to lose the position coming into turn 7. He's defending again, but I think Ryan's going to just dive it in there. He has to dive it in there. A little bit of contact between the two of them, but Ryan's through. It's 9/10 of a second between him and Tony. Is this over, though? Has Tony won this race?
I think he has. He's got to close a second with half a lap remaining. Yellow flags. I think that's Harvey and Spicer dueling away still at the back of the grid. I don't think it's enough time for Ryan to close the gap. It'd have to be an amazing final couple of corners, but I don't think it's enough, Gareth. I think Tony has saved up enough energy and is really using all he can. More yellow flags in second 2. Someone's gone straight on. I think it's...
Lifeboat spun at 13.
Yeah, not ideal at all, but Gareth, I think Tony is luckily just about run away with us.
What an end of the race from Tony Richet. He probably didn't see this coming. A help from an unlikely source to take victory in Singapore. What a race for Tony Richet. He's led the majority of this one. Ryan will come home in second, and we'll be thinking of what if. And Azim, a great defensive display there to hold up Ryan to allow Tony to take victory. That's the end of that one. Here comes the other cars. Chorizo drops down as we continue on. Is there damage to Paulos? There is... Oh, no, there's no damage to Paulos. I thought there was a front end plate missing there. They are going through. These two are Harvey and Spicer fighting away, dueling away, giving us some action for the last place position.
Yeah, they are just trying everything to get some screen time, aren't they? But we'll keep fighting. They're still on the grid, still fighting away, and again, Spicer just has enough pace to hold the place there. Justin's, oh sorry, I think yellow flag. I thought it was something else, but yeah, Harv gets a penalty coming across the line as well. Not ideal, but that's the end of the race there. And Spicer will be disappointed not to get into the points there just outside, but. Ryan gets driver of the day. Obviously, we can talk about that in a moment, Gareth. But yeah, good race there tonight. It ebbed and flowed. We had some moments where it got a bit chess-like we mentioned in the past. But Tony Roche playing it tactically, playing it well, and getting the win tonight.
Definitely did, and he's got Azim to thank for a defensive masterclass to hold up Ryan a little bit longer. But let's go down the order quickly, just one last time. Let's export. Cool. So it is Tony Roche that takes victory tonight. He started second, but he finished on. And you said you called this one at the start of the race as well. Ryan, who started 12th on the grid, will finish second. Third place to Azim, who started on pole. Then Alpha Kevin, great drive from him, starting 9th. And then we had Thomas, Max van der Geest, Lifebout, Luca, Finbob, Typical, Brian, Medal, Chorizo, and Ziawadi and Paulos rounding out the points, with Spicer and Harvey and Justin dropping out of the points, with no finishes to the AMR team of Nico and Ivan there. What a crazy race that was. Towards the end, we thought Ryan was going to do it, but Azim, what a defensive class that was.
Yeah, I think so. And Tony just, I think, in fairness, Azim defended well, Gareth. Ryan just couldn't get by him. Had to really get his elbows out at the end there to hold or to gain second place, and that battling was enough to allow Tony to just about hold the lead. And you could really see the fall off in those medium tyres. There was about 5 or 6 laps remaining, and they dropped straight away. And you could see how quickly Ryan was negotiating the grid, overtaking where he could. And yeah, I think one more lap and Ryan would have had it. But again, that's racing for you. And unfortunately for Ryan, he didn't get the win. But a good haul of points for NLR this evening as well.
Yeah, wonderful for Ryan. But who, the game gave driver of the day for Ryan. Are you going that way as well?
I think so. It was a good strategy. You could argue good strategy from Ryan. He gained quite a few places from where he started, especially from a team point of view. That'll help the team out with Spicer dropping down. So yeah, I think I'll agree with the game this evening for once.
For once, I mean.
Yeah.
I'm partly thinking, and the only reason is because as soon as he took the lead, he never really looked threatened. Tony Roche had a very, very good race out front, and it's nice to see those drives from the true, really good drivers, because it just shows that the level they're at. But Ryan, what a drive from him! Great drive, and I think a deserving drive of the day as well. Yeah, an interesting one. I don't think we're going to get any. I'm just going to check. I don't think anyone is waiting in the waiting room. I don't think we're going to get anyone coming to say hello to us tonight. But Ollie, difficult one to round out, but a great way to end the race.
Yeah, I think it wasn't as exciting as you've had other races, Gareth. I think where the others have been non-stop throughout the whole race. But a flurry at the end gave us some excitement, didn't it? And yeah, altogether, still a very good race. Don't get me wrong. And Tony Roche playing his cards right and being able to obviously hold the lead to the very end.
Definitely. Well, let's have a look-see. Not at the standings, but at the schedule for the remainder of the season. So that was Singapore. That was round 8. We now have a break week. There is no race next week. We are having a week off, and then we go to China, where the Chinese Grand Prix has caused a lot of stir in this game cycle. So it'll be interesting to see how that one will turn up at Competitive Speed Series. Then there's a mystery round. We don't know where that is. Maybe it'll be Monaco. No, I'm not gonna tease that continually. And then you've got Saudi Arabia and finishing at Abu Dhabi. Out of those, obviously 3 tracks that we know, what is the one you're looking forward to the most?
I know a lot of people don't like it, but I quite like China as a Grand Prix. I think it's just a nice flowing circuit. Jeddah, we've had some great races around as well, and Yas Marina has got better over the years, but for me, it's still China. Obviously, it depends what is thrown up in the mystery week, round 10 as well. But yeah, I think for me, it is China that excites me the most out of the last 3 we know anyway. Yeah, I think China was where I had my first ever league victory. Maybe that's why it's a favourite of mine. Many moons ago.
No comment. I try to remember what mine was. I think it may have been Hungary. It's either Hungary or Monaco, and I can't believe that we don't see Monaco anymore. But it's fine. I'm really looking forward to Abu Dhabi. The final well. I think this championship will go down to the wire, and I think we'll find out. I think that adds a little bit special. The track change as well, I think, is really good and key to some real good stuff. But I think that's about it. I think that is where we're going to call it a day for tonight. Ollie, thank you very much for this one. Great to have you alongside us again. And we'll see you all in the next one at China very, very soon in 2 weeks' time. Thank you for watching and goodbye.